Alrighty then, welcome back to the CounterStrike Casuals podcast. So congratulations is in order. We are at episode 75. I genuinely never thought we'd get this far. I thought.
No, it's a bit of a shock, to be fair.
So, we're not doing these as often. Maybe we'll pick it back up, who knows. Obviously, we do this for fun and a laugh and the love of the game. So, yeah, pretty cool that we got to 75. Pretty impressive. Congratulations and thank you for everyone that's ever tuned in for any episode for any amount of time. Big love.
Yeah,
and love to all our haters on like TikTok, particularly TikTok. TikTok is where we get the most people like, what are you talking about?
Do you think TikTok's the most toxic social media platform?
Yeah, but it's also the most interactive. So you take the highs with the lows. Like you actually, we get so much chat from it. You'd be shocked. You could post a video, get 30 comments. You post it on YouTube, you get nothing. So, take the rough with the smooth. It's all love, really. Anyway, tell you what, let's run credits because there's quite a bit to talk about, and then we'll credits. I always say credits. Intro.
Let's get into it.
Okay. First off, we've got to talk about the Vitality era continuing and their absolute. Well, actually, it wasn't as dominant this time. Win over Mouse in the final of Lisbon. I mean, what's there to say? They're just actually too good. And to be fair to Mouse, they put up a bit more of a fight. And is everyone starting to now think? Maybe Brolland's actually not that bad as an IGL, or this could work. I don't know. What's your vibes? What's your view? Because mate, you said a lot of interesting losses to Vitality.
Yeah, I mean, fair play for them to get into the final. To answer your questions, yeah, it wasn't as dominant. Although judging from the first map, they got 13-0'd, and I was a bit like, oh dear.
That's the one I watched. I watched that map and I was like, oh, mate, it was like flow state on crack. Like everything was perfect and every timing was perfect. Every single thing fell into place for them. Sorry, interrupted. I just had to say because I watched it. I was like, this is going to be... I was at that point, I was like, they're going to win. They're not even going to... I was like, fuck it. They're not going to get a map and they're going to 3-0 them. Anyway, so
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to hear because... I didn't watch it either, and I have to answer your other question and say, yeah, I was wrong about Brolin. Like he's been good, and I didn't think he was going to be as good as Shuey because I'm really high on Shuey. I think he's such a good in-game leader, but Spinks is playing so well. Brolin's calling some really good games, and I just didn't think he would have the voice to be an in-game leader. I didn't think he would be able to control everybody or be a leader, just be a voice that people were going to follow. But it seems to be working well for these lot, and I'm here for it. I quite like it.
I do. They're actually quite a fun team to watch and support in a weird. Like they're exciting. I think it's good to see them up there doing these things.
Yeah, I mean they're shooting hard, and we kind of touched on this last week with having shooters on your team is just like one of the most important things at the minute. You can't just have like one or two like good shooters. You need like 4 good shooters, which Vitality are kind of showing us at the minute. They've got such a high level team at the minute. It's unbelievable. I didn't watch much of this final, but I did watch the Spirit Vitality in the semis, and I thought that was going to be the final everyone wanted. Because I do kind of believe that it's Vitality, Spirit, then probably Mouse at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. Well, would you not put Mouse maybe above Spirit, considering
this is like
there's
a very high possibility because if you look at Mouse with Jimmy, Exertion, Spinks, I mean Tozi's not playing too bad either at the minute, and Brolin calling well.
Yeah,
you could argue that Mouse are up there I mean, none of them are near Vitality's level, but I mean, I know I said this last week, but Spirit really need to change some pieces. They can't have just Shiro and Donk because yes, those two are really good, but you've still got three pieces that can let you down. Uh, Magis has moments, where he can let himself down. Zontix too. Don't get me wrong; these guys can all have great moments, but um, I would say the bad gameplays or the bad misses come way more often than the good ones. And I've been saying this since they won a major. It's nothing new for me anyway. I know everyone else was high on them when they won the major. I still thought they needed to make a change because I knew this wouldn't last. That form wouldn't last. They're not good enough. They're not
You're
like a
still
Donk or
holding
a
on to.
ZYWOO.
You're still holding on to the old. I told you so about the major change. Fair
Yeah, because
play.
I just feel like I feel like I'm repeating myself, but um, every time I watch them, I can't help but feel like you need to change those guys. Like you do need to change them. You
Why
need
don't they just bring
more
in that
firepower.
Kaiosuke geezer, the next donk that everyone talks about? I mean, there was again some discussion on our TikTok, which you're not involved with because you're not a TikToker, but someone was saying that point made that good point. Why not bring him in from the academy? Pick someone to replace anyone and put that Kaiosuke guy. And you got two donks, but then the argument again from other people in the comments was that then you've got a clash roll because he is just like a donk. So what happens? But surely one of them could adjust. And I mean, again, if those two go and get 2 kills each, I mean, your round's over. What else is there to do?
Yeah, it's just I don't know, mate. I think there's probably a lot more to it than we realise, but a big part of it is you're watering down your quality, right? Because you're then sending another donk out there. So either donk's not getting as many, or what's his name?
Kosuke, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah,
Kosuke.
either way,
Donk 2. Donk
you're watering
Jr.
it. Yeah,
Donk Jr.,
donk
dude.
donk point oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're watering down your talent, right? And I don't know, maybe it would work. Maybe
Or
they could
maybe.
adapt. But
I mean, the other thing that the Spirit CEO or the organizer came out talking about Monasi, saying, "Oh, Monasi's great, but Shiro's just as good," type thing. And to be fair to Shiro, he's playing bloody well. So I mean, not being funny, Monasi is still a massive upgrade on Shiro. I'm not gonna have anyone tell me different. You'd take Monasi over Shiro any day, like surely.
yeah, Monis is a bit more aggressive. I don't know if Spirit need that, but I think Shiro's not a problem at the minute. I mean, all the
No.
team are few between at the minute,
Yeah.
but Shiro isn't an issue at the minute. But they definitely need to change Magis or
Zone
Zonix. They
6.
need, yeah,
All
they
right.
need to change something definitely.
I think
But
whilst you were
Mouse could be number two. Vitality are miles ahead. We spoke about this on the last podcast 2 weeks ago, but
yeah,
yeah, they're still there, and looks like no one can touch them at the minute.
mate, I'm here for the Vitality era. This is a good team. This is good. This is like sick. This is a good team to have an era. I like it. I like all pieces to it. Pardon me. Sorry. Whilst you're admitting that you were wrong about Brolin being an IGL, and the way I say that suggests that I was saying he'd be good. I wasn't. I was just. It just sounded the way I emphasised it. I need to admit as well about Rops because the Rops change. I put more emphasis. I think, and if we go back to when these changes happened, I think I was more hot on the Elige. I thought FaZe did actually had a better payoff
Yeah,
with Elige, and I
yeah,
was completely
yeah,
wrong there. I mean, Rops just fits into this so well and seems to complement everyone in that fucking team. I mean, Jesus Christ, how wrong can you be? So fair play. I mean, and like actually, this was his first Blast win, right? Because FaZe never won a Blast tournament, which seems very hard to believe. But actually, even when we went to Copenhagen, do you remember it was FaZe? Who was it? FaZe. It might have been FaZe Vitality in the final then, or was it
Heroic.
Heroic? And Heroic won.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. And
couple of
FaZe.
teams. If sorry, are you still talking?
No, go.
Sorry. A couple of teams I
Are you
just
still
wanted to
here?
get.
Yeah, I am. Go on.
Yeah, yeah. I know that was rude. Sorry. A couple of teams I wanted to get like a quick opinion on
Yeah.
was Virtus Pro.
Okay. Yeah.
Have they improved?
Yeah, they've definitely improved. I mean, kind of
Okay.
where you see them now. Maybe you see them get a bit further. But they lost to Spirit, right? But maybe you see them get into some playoffs and in place of maybe like an Eternal Fire. That was what it used to be like last year, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, they've improved
Yeah, I
slightly.
felt like they did give Spirit a bit of a fight. The Mongols are they losing it a little bit, or are they? Because they don't seem to be improving like
I
we would like them to be.
I don't know. I think the Mongols are just hitting a bit of a. People are maybe figuring them out a bit, and like they're how high can their ceiling really be? They've probably hit their ceiling, which is like pretty deep runs, maybe to playoffs, but they didn't quite get to playoffs in this one. I think the next event that they're at is this one coming up this weekend, the Bucharest one, and they're one of the highest ranked teams, so they'll probably get to playoffs there. And that's probably their ceiling, right? They're a bit like an Eternal Fire, aren't they? Like Mongols and Eternal Fire are very similar, in my opinion.
Yeah, Eternal Fire. Yeah, they are similar, very similar. Yeah, they're kind of the teams that you want to do well, and they don't do as well
Just
as
not got
you'd
that
want
quite.
or expect sometimes. And yeah, I think it's more.
Not quite got that clutch, have they? Just to get through a tournament to a final, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, it's kind of that want more than anything. I feel like you want them to do well.
yeah.
G2, I feel still a little bit meh.
Oh, mate, G2 need to fucking sack Snacks off and sack Hunter off. I know people are saying, the team, Hunter is offers so much. It's like, yeah, but Jesus Christ, like, just get rid of Snacks, get proper IGL in, and replace Hunter for someone, a bit more young. Get a nice young, up-and-coming team in there and start to build a little, mouse team, that type of thing. They should be up there.
Yeah, get Shuey in.
Get Shuey in and replace Hunter with, I don't know.
Is he going liquid or?
I think
we're not heard anything?
I think that's the more likely route for him, which would be interesting because if Shuey goes to liquid, I hope Twist just falls back in line and just does his job as like a good fragger and shuts the fuck up. That's what I really hope happens. If Twist still think he's like the main character and the Mr. Liquid, that team's just gonna fail and be shit, and it will be all down to Twist, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a side note about Liquid there for you.
I mean, I don't know if he would, to be honest, because yeah, I feel like they have built a team around him. Just while we're on blast as well, I wanted to say, Mr. Woo got he got MVP, did he?
Oh yeah, well, I would have thought so. Yeah, I think that he's overtaken S1MPLE now for LAN MVPs, isn't he, or something? That was the headline.
Oh, is he actually?
I believe so. I believe he's overtaken S1MPLE for LAN MVP. So, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but
that kind of falls into my question quite well then. So, do we think he's going to overtake or has already overtaken S1MPLE for the GOAT status?
Do you know what? I used to. I think if the way this is going, I think he is and has and will. The last I saw of S1MPLE based on Twitter was actually this morning at work. I was scrolling away, and I believe he left a Faceit game, FPL game yesterday or the day before early. He was drunk and he flamed some people and then left after like 6 rounds. And like people are calling for him to be banned or get a timeout because it's like not fair on his teammates. So, if that is true and that's what's happening, compared to ZYWOO, who's now about to have his own era, a proper era, probably win a major, probably win the Grand Slam, and is getting more MVPs than S1MPLE's ever got, and is actually just a proper teammate that brings so much to a team, as opposed to just S1MPLE that flamed and had some incredible moments and obviously carried some teams. You've got to say ZYWOO is the GOAT. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know if many people are going to say it. I don't think if many people are going to admit it. And don't get me wrong, S1MPLE was unbelievable. I think he was more exciting. I think he had the
I feel like
flair.
ZYWOO's finesse in like clutch plays and plays is stepping up. I think it's only getting better and more exciting.
He's good. He's great. I mean, he's unreal. But I just don't. Yeah, I don't think he has that finesse. I don't think so. Um, yeah, I don't. I think he's going to overtake Simple. I think he's ZYWOO's kind of consistency. If he can keep this up, he's going to overtake Simple for the GOAT. At the moment, I'm a little bit hesitant, but I do kind of think, yeah, he's
a fucking legend, mate. He's the
he
GOAT.
has overtaken him. He has
he's the
overtaken
GOAT, bro. What are you on about? Get out of here.
I always feel like with a champion, like in boxing or like UFC or something similar, if it's like a very, very close match, you've got to give it to the champion. You can't give it to the challenger. So I feel like with this, we're at that stage now where I think ZYWOO's going to overtake Simple. Don't know if I can quite give it him yet, but I think he's going to. He's so good. But the only argument you could have is, does he just have like a much better team around him than what Simple's had? Could you even make that argument? I mean, Simple's been a part of some great teams. Has Simple been a part of a team as good as this Vitality team, do you think?
No, I don't. I think there's a lot of talk about this being the best ever team, and it could well be. I don't think that. I think Simple had more to do in teams than ZYWOO does. I guess is what the way to look at it. But then again, maybe that's also a result of Simple as a person, the way he was. Like, people want to go play with ZYWOO. I bet there were people that didn't want to play with Simple. Like, better players that just thought, fuck that, I can't be. I don't need to deal with that.
I think maybe later in his career, but like in the peak of his career, I think people probably did want to play with him.
Stop sticking up for. Yeah, I think Simple's not played in a team as good as this Vitality team. I don't believe. No. What was the Liquid team like when Simple was there? What was that? What was his? I can't remember who was in it. Let's have a look. Sorry.
The Liquid team.
I don't like doing this too much because that Liquid team was pretty good, wasn't it? When he was there. So how just really quickly check.
So it would have been Simple.
Oh, it's Nitro, JDM, Lige, Hiko, and Simple. Not that good.
Yeah, I think his Navi team, to be honest,
was the one.
What was the best team, but I don't think it was as good as this Vitality team. Although I remember they went on some hella streaks. Yeah, they were unreal, but I wouldn't say they were as good as this team. I mean, it feels like at the minute ZYWOO's just got the perfect scenario to pop off and have another great year. I mean, was it last year? I know last year was Navi's kind of year. The year before that, what was that? 23. They got Team of the Year. ZYWOO was number 1. Could he be number 1 again?
Who?
Do you think ZYWOO could be ranked number 1 player again?
Yeah, this year if they carry on like this, there's no chance. Like, he can't.
Yeah, does that mean he's better than Donk though?
Yes.
Like Donk's not got worse. He's just not playing on a team as good as ZYWOO.
I still think ZYWOO just is better at the moment. The
I mean,
the Navi team,
the HLTV awards and everything just kind of pisses me off. It winds me up a little bit, like how you can say, "Oh, ZYWOO's number 1. Oh, he's number 3. Oh, he's number 1 again." Like nothing's changed in that year apart from how the team performance has done. He's not changed as a person.
Yeah, but
they
need to do something. It's an event, isn't it? Something. It's wider good for the community. The ranks not that important, but just quickly, the Navi team that won the major of Simple was Simple, Electronic, Bit, Perfecto, and Boomage. And that was when Boomage went mad after, didn't he? Just got a bang on the gear. So this Vitality team is a lot better than that. Anyway, yeah, ZYWOO is the GOAT and RIP Simple. Simple doesn't even seem to want to come back, so.
Mate, you get a bit of hate on TikTok. You're gonna get loads of hate on TikTok after this
Yeah,
take.
no, it's true though.
Simple,
So,
Simple has a big following behind him,
I
even
know,
though
but it's not
he's
true.
not played
It's
for a while.
just who gives a fuck, mate? He's
Yeah,
washed.
to be fair, you lay into Nico, so you don't give a shit.
Well, we'll come on to Nico. Okay, let's move on from Blast Lisbon. Let's talk about the new update quickly, very briefly. They called it a major update, or people said it was a major update. It wasn't. It was, they made Inferno Banana a bit wider to make it more like CSGO, and changed Train a bit, which I haven't even looked at. I don't know if anyone cares about that. And added some skins. Hurrah! So
Nice. Thank you, Valve, for all your hard work.
legends. So that's the game complete, and that's it. But the Inferno change is actually quite good. I actually played some Inferno. It is actually quite good. But again, it's just like, it's never enough, is it? It's never enough. And
we want more.
We want more, and also
make it bigger.
That's not even us saying like it's not enough from being like like being unrealistic or our expectations too high. I feel like you and me are actually, our expectations are very low. Actually, we're the ones that are just like usually quite happy with what's going on, to the point where, again, put out a little short saying that CS2 was in a really good place. Actually, I've said, and we got a bit of pushback on that. So yeah, come on, Valve, sort out. Let's talk about the Sonic clip, okay? And I know that lots of people have been talking about this, and I think let's watch it back so it's fresh in our memory, and we know exactly what we're saying. I'm gonna play it now. Let's get this set up. Right, hang on. Need sound. That would help.
I don't know. I just feel like last one was obviously a bit unlucky, but
what?
Yeah.
Then you should I call something?
No, I'm just thinking.
You know, okay. Did you your face? You know, the community, the wider community reaction to this has been a mixture of casuals like us, or people, fans saying that Sonic's washed or whatever, and then, like, you know, people in the professional side of things saying not at all, like that's well blown out of proportion and these things happen, blah 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 blah. But then a lot of people are saying that Nico says, any ideas, or do you want me to call something? Have you seen that? Have you seen that's what people say? That.
Yeah, I didn't hear the clip you played, but yeah, I've heard that.
But is that okay? You didn't hear the clip? Oh, because you could only see what I was playing.
Yeah.
So do you want me just to send you the clip quickly? Because
I think I've seen it, but Nico does say that.
Are you sure? I don't think he does say that. Let me just put this in our Discord, so I'm going to change the camera. I want you to listen to the clip again, because, and I'm going to play it again one more time on here, because I don't think he does say that. Hang on, let me just play it one more time. Turn this right up.
I just feel like last one was obviously a bit unlucky, but
what?
Yeah.
Then you should I call something?
No, I'm just thinking.
Okay, did you listen again?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I think I think he does say any ideas, or shall I call something? Actually, is what he says.
Yeah, I do. I don't get the first bit, but he is saying, "Shall I call something?" You hear that quite clearly.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Fine. All right. I was looking for an excuse to.
Sonic is having a bit of a fucking brain fart, isn't he? He's just
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not that dramatic about this clip, actually. I don't think I'm a bit with. Like, Sonic's clearly not washed.
I would say Sonic is a little bit overhyped. It's a funny thing being a coach, right? Because you need all the right pieces to kind of, I don't know, to work with, right? You need all the right pieces to work with, but in the same sense, you should be able to do something with lesser pieces that are a lesser coach would not be able to do. And I think Blade's a good example of this, although we don't have an alternate universe where we can prove ourselves wrong. But Navi kind of looked like they weren't going to do anything special. They won the major. Everyone was like, that was a fluke, and then went on to just dominate for a short period and did really well. And it looked like that was a lot to do with Blade. Now, Zonic's kind of been in a slightly different situation, but some would say a better situation where he's had loads of money and he's been able to build a team and pretty much get whoever he wants, and it's not worked out. I mean, now he's got Nico on the team and a few other, like a fairly good selection of people around him. You could still discredit him by saying, yeah, but he's got loads of great pieces. It's, he needed this to do well. So he's not in a great situation. He's kind of in a lose-lose situation. So it is very difficult to be in his position. That timeout doesn't make him look good. One of the discussions, because I don't have a massive opinion on this either. I'm not like, I don't think he's awful for this, and I also don't think it makes him look great, and I'm not gonna stick up for him either. I don't think Nico looks like a cunt for saying what he said. It just seems a little bit awkward and like he had a brain fart. So I don't want to read too much into that. But what I do want to ask you is, should tournament organisers put clips like this out? Do you want to see more of it, or do you think it's going to make players and coaches a little bit more withdrawn and scared to say things and worried about what they say, under a bit more pressure? And also, should it be a bit more of a private conversation between them?
Well, as a watching fan and someone that likes this content for a podcast we do, I would say that I like this being shown. And yeah, I like it because I do like a bit of the drama and the gossip, to be fair. So I'm all for it. I would hope it doesn't make them like more withdrawn, because at the end of the day, man, they're there to... No, if you're Sonic and as a result of this happening, you're going to be even like a bit careful of what you say, then you really are actually washed, because, bro, you got to go out there and try and win like £500,000 or whatever it is. They're trying to get to the final to win. So like, you should just not give a fuck about this. So I think they should show it. I think they should show more. They should show a lot more different clips of different people and coaches doing stuff. And I think it's only good for us watching if we could see it. But not like tactical. This is the problem though, because they can't show tactical stuff, because then people would say, "Oh, you're giving away all Falcons tactics. You can't show that," which I get. So they are kind of the issue with the team organizer, the tournament organizers, is they're kind of bound to only show the shit stuff, aren't they? They're only
Yeah, but
they can only show like people saying stupid shit or idiotic things, because they can't show the actual CounterStrike, deep stuff.
yeah, I think they are in a difficult situation, and they're just trying to make it more entertaining for us, right? And I think it does do that. It does make it more entertaining, but it also makes it look a little bit sad. It's like, you wouldn't do that for a football game or any other sport. They're doing it for this because they want to make it as entertaining as possible, as gripping as possible, have loads of storylines. And I do kind of think we're in a golden era where they've just started doing this type of thing. They've just started releasing, comms kind of during a game or just after a game or whatever. I think it does shit on everybody that's in the tournament a little bit, because they are playing a lot of stupid comments, especially for coaches more than anyone. Like, they've made Taz look a bit of an idiot. They've made Sonic look like an idiot here. I do think it's a bit unfair, and I do think we're going to enter an era of coaches and players being conscious about their clips being played. So everything they say is going to be a little bit more theatrical for just in case they get clipped. Do you know what I mean? It's like, celebrities scared to do things when they're out and about because it could become big news. So I do think it's a little bit unfair for that reason, and it also feels a little bit sad that we're not entertained enough with the games or the personalities of the players, because we've kind of touched on this in the past, that the players are a little bit boring. Like, at the end of the day, these guys are just good at computer games. Most people that are good at computer games are introverts, so they're not going to be that entertaining. The games are entertaining, but it seems like the tournament organisers are not. I think that's not entertaining enough, so they have to play these little clips. Like I said, you wouldn't have this in any other sport. A coach talking to the players. You have it in martial arts, UFC, boxing. You kind of hear the cornerman talking to them, which is good. It is entertaining. So I guess you could argue it's kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
I don't know, mate. It's really hard to say because I heard on HLTV, Prof was saying he wants more of this. Like he wants people to do it more, and people should be translating the Russian teams and should be going after everybody, not just like one coach. But that it's not going to happen very often where a coach does
just
that.
Loads of toxicity.
Yeah, just laying into everybody. I also think it's unfair. It's going to put people in shit situations. It's going to make them look like idiots. You're taking things out of content anyway because you can't play everything. Do you know what I mean? Like someone could have called some tactic then, or he could have forgot a tactic in his head, or anything could have happened. But they can't play the content before it. They're just playing that short clip, and we know what the internet's like. We're going to fucking run with it, and I just don't know whether it's good. I just think it's a bit unfair, although it is entertaining and it's a bit of a laugh for us.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing is clear is Sonic. There's a reason why that guy is who he is. I don't think he's, this is not an insight into exactly how he is as a coach. Let's be real. That being said, there's so much pressure on him and Falcons, so these things are going to happen. They're under immense pressure, more than I think when he was at Vitality, and he's under real pressure. I think, especially with all the money and getting Nico, so it's going to start to show. All right, let's move on. Do you want to talk about JKM's skin drama at all? The only thing I wanted to ask about this was...
just fill me in briefly, because I know roughly about it, but...
So basically, for Paris Major, which, has been and gone now, he borrowed like 10 grand's worth of skins from the skin trader, and then didn't give them back after and gambled them away. So either sold them and gambled with it, or gambled the skins in on different websites. You can gamble skins, right? And he hasn't paid, or he's paid the geezer back like $1,000, and the guy's saying that the inventory was worth 11,000, so he owes 10 grand. And why? Do you know why it's just funny interesting is I didn't realize, I guess, till we started doing this podcast, how big skin lending is in the professional game. And it just meant I just can't fathom it. Who? I just don't. I can't see the appeal of borrowing skin. Let alone, I kind of get you get cool skins yourself, and then but borrowing skins. If he borrowed 10 grand's worth of skins, you can buy them, but then obviously he can't because he's got a gambling addiction. He's come out and said he's got a gambling problem, he's got a gambling addiction. So he probably doesn't actually have the money to be buying them because he's gambling it away. But yeah, I just didn't quite comprehend again until we started this podcast, however long ago, that it's such a big thing for professionals to get their skins lent to them for major events. It's mad. Would you care?
I think it's crazy. Yeah,
crazy, isn't it? I don't know why. Are we stupid? We might be stupid because people get gassed about skins. So
yeah, I mean, for me, the question is more. It's has he lent it to use it in the major, or has he lent it to use it to sell it? Because I just can't get that through my head. How someone would essentially rent something and then go and sell it.
yeah.
What did he think was going to happen? That he was going to sell it, he was going to gamble it,
make loads of money, give the guy back,
buy that skin back, and then give it back up.
Mate, I'd love to hear in comments what people's appeal is for skin lending, or if people do it at a lower level. Be intrigued to see if there's someone out there doing that listens or something.
There's people that play at our level, which is pretty low, and they've got £1,000.
Yeah. And people that ask to get your skin in the game. Oh, can I have?
I've not even got any great skins, but I've had someone say can I have that? Or yeah.
Valorant, it used to be big in when we played a bit of Valorant. Oh, we used to drive me nuts. people.
Yeah, those skins are awful as well.
There's childish skins, and then people just be stuck at spawn, not even trying to start the round, going, "Oh, drop me off," whatever. It's like, "Oh, mate, can we just get on with this?" Like, honestly.
Yeah. In terms of like a moral standpoint as well, like it's this guy was after the money for like over a year. I think Jacob comes across like, I don't want to say too much. I don't know what kind of position that guy's in, like mentally and everything else. But you have to be a bit of a cunt to do that, to take a skin off someone and be like, "Yep, can I borrow that for the major?" This guy's like, "Yeah, it's going to cost this much," and he's gone, "Yeah, great," and just fucking sold it. Like, that's pretty fucked up.
I don't know if he's selling it or gambling.
guy.
Well, I don't know whether you gamble. This is how stupid we are. We don't actually know. I don't know if you just gamble the skin. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you say, "I'll put this skin in and roll for a crate or something." I don't know.
Yeah, there was or is websites.
So you could do that. You
like
say,
where
"I'll
you
put
can-
my skin in." You're gonna lose that though. That's just like loot boxing, but you have to give up something other than money. I guess you pay to open a loot box, a crate in CS, but a bit weird.
So he come out and said, "I don't have any excuses. I fucked up bad, and there is more than one case. I will pay back everything to anyone I owe money / skins. I was an idiot, honestly. I take full responsibility and I own my mistakes." I think that was the first quarter of his responses. But I don't know, like to come out now and be like, "Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's been a year this guy's been after his money and you've just been fucking him off for a year." I don't know. This is
bizarre.
It's fucked up, but yeah, hopefully the guy gets his money back. Hopefully Jacob sorts his life out and stops gambling shit away.
Yeah, I bet there's such a big gambling scene in CounterStrike as well. So
it's a shame because I've never had this kind of issue with gambling myself.
No, me neither actually.
I think
one of the few addictions that's never quite stuck with me. I don't like losing money, maybe.
Yeah, you're too tight. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think gambling and pro gaming is a dangerous mix because these kids earning this much money at so young. Like imagine never having a job in your life. Like gaming was your job. Like you literally go from school at the age of like 15, 16, and you're like, "I'm a professional gamer, getting paid thousands to play a video game." And you probably get a bit fucking bored, and you probably do dabble in a bit of gambling and stuff because it's everything around CS is gambling related.
I'm gonna feel very old now. Why also gambling used to be quite a thing that was not that addictive is because before online gambling, and I'm talking when I was at high school, college, whatever, and then into university, we used to have to go into a bookies to play the roulette machines and like play the actual slots in there and stuff. And you go in there, mate, and that is full of delinquents and degenerates and like, I don't know if you ever used to go to the bookies, but we did. Basically like during like a free period at college or whatever, we go bookies, and then you put like you put some money in, like a tenner on roulette, and you just lose it in like 5 minutes. Be like, that was an absolute waste. We've got like no money now to like get lunch. It's just like, so...
Yeah, but imagine you were rich and you could just do it online. Like, yeah, it has changed the world.
That's what I mean.
A lot. I guess we saw gambling.
You're 17, 18-year-old. Yeah, like
you've got loads of money.
Getting paid $3,000 a month or whatever it is just to play your favorite game. You don't spend that much anyway. Yeah, why not, man? Spin that wheel.
Well, don't.
Don't do
that.
That's not worth it. Go to a bookies, yeah.
Go to a bookies, yeah. See it firsthand.
Smell the cigarettes in the air and realise that this is not where you want to be.
Just walk around the casino in Vegas and look at some of the people that are just glued to the slot machines and realise I don't want that for myself.
Well, again, funny story. When I went to Vegas, I think my wife got into it more than I thought she would, and more than me. And I was a bit like wary. She was like, she even had a favourite slot machine. She's like, "We need to find it." I was like, "Oh my god." Anyway, we could actually wrap this up. We've been going a fair bit, and I'm keen not to overshoot it this week. But let's. I wanted to quickly touch on NIP, Ninjas in Pajamas, to use their full name, because they have a qualified for their first LAN under the new look team, and I just thought it was worth mentioning because I'm just quite glad. I think, you know, with Snappy at the helm, Shush Exist as their coach, obviously. I just feel like I want them to do well. I want Snappy to prove kind of his doubters wrong and what happened with Falcons, and they've qualified for PGL Astana, and they will be, as it stands, the lowest rank team on the VRS rankings to be there. So yeah, quite excited that they're going to have a chance to go to LAN, I think, and just I'm happy that that's happening. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think they've got some decent players. I mean, obviously we're massive fans of Shush. Wrinkle seems to play well. When he first came to NIP, this was like the beginning of the downfall. Well, I say the downfall. They were on the downfall, but it was the beginning of the end when he joined, and he showed glimmers of hope for them. Obviously, it wasn't to be. Arados, I think they're not a bad team, to be fair, but they've got a long way to go, haven't they? I mean, you know, no one's getting too excited. I'm glad Shush is not, you know, in a completely dead team. Snappy's about 1 million years old, so I'll be honest, I'm not too bothered about Snappy. He's had his moment. He's not. I can't see him back in Tier 1 CounterStrike. Still think they need to make some moves, but it is progress. So fair play.
Happy days. The next event coming up is PGL Bucharest. Mate, PGL just dominating this year. PGL and Blast, I think.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I didn't even think. But yeah,
PGL,
you're right.
PGL Blast. Which starts the weekend. I think it starts on Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah, 6, which is Sunday. Yeah.
Mongols, Eternal Fire, G2 Phase. I don't know who's gonna win.
Right. Let's wrap this up pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I was doing my fantasy team, and I know you're not quite doing your fantasy teams at the minute. So I just needed to pick 2 teams, yeah, to have that. Make sure those 2 teams were in my fantasy team. Which 2 teams are you going to pick?
Well, probably Mongols and Eternal Fire.
You joking? You got your boys FaZe in there.
I know, but they're not playing that well.
Liquid, Falcons.
They're not playing that well. And I think Eternal Fire's first game is Pain, and Mongols is 3D Max. So FaZe have got Astralis. That could be weird, just because it's FaZe Astralis.
So you're just picking the top 2 teams. That's your strategy these days.
Well, I mean, I don't do fantasy, so. So who have you gone for? You've gone. Mate, FaZe for Astralis could be a dodgy game. I know Astralis is shit, but
mate, I was half asleep, but I did do it. I've got Mongols. I've got 2 Liquid players.
Mate, Gamer Legion are there. They could pop up.
Yeah, you're right.
They got G2 first as well. I mean,
yeah, I kind of did a pick some quick teams, which I did the Mongols and Liquid. I don't know why. I just think Liquid should do well with Nerds on the team. I don't think they're going to do that well. And I feel like Eternal Fire keep letting me down. Every time I pick them, they just let me down. Someone's going to pop off. G2, FaZe, Falcons. One of those boys are going to pop off.
All right. Well, I hope they do for you. Okay. And let's wrap this up. Another thing that I did want to actually say is happy birthday for the channel. Actually, just looked whilst you were yabbing on about your poor fantasy choices, and tomorrow, the channel's been up for 2 years. That's
tomorrow.
So
2 years old.
2 years and 75 episodes. So thank you.
Oh, I could have cracked a beer open. That's a great excuse.
Cracked a tear. All right. Well, look, there you go. GG. See you on the flip side, and yeah, see you guys soon, right?
GG's. Thanks, guys.